vibes. See the only win. Everything be funny, yo. You know, like Divine love all his creations, yo. All of his creations unconditionally, and that's something that individually we won't be able to comprehend because we see what people do and we see them in our scale of reality as adult children and stuff like that. But to divine, we all children. So the only time you really change that notion of how you feel about your child, unless your child just don't stop, and then eventually you kind of like back up like this, and that is even a form of love. You know what I'm saying? So you just kind of step back, like, you know what I'm saying, live your life if that's what you choose to do. Still love you. Sometimes in a reference of the value of wanting to be an adult, some of you people inflict things that you went through that you shouldn't have went through to people that you love because you think that's just how it is. It's because you never learned anything. See, divine don't even do that. Divine is almighty, so the grace of divine is everlasting. It ain't gonna never stop for you. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much you mess up, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how many, every single body on this earth is a different makeup. Even twins. Every single physical body is a different makeup. But we try to put everything in one box because to be a leader is hard. To lead something and teach something is hard. Divine is the ultimate leader and teacher. So people give up fast. You see this shit all the time. Like you were supposed to be like this, but you gave up and you checked out and you started handling shit this way. So that altitude of energy started making the value. Like if I go to a grocery store, or even if I pick apples from a tree, right? They said one rotten apple spoiled the bunch. Why is that? Because mold spreads. That's why. Because mold will spread. And ain't nothing you can do about it when mold starts spreading. So if I'm going to pick some apples, well, I'm going to pick the moldy one for it. I ain't going to be able to do much with that. I might as well leave it there so it can break down and feed other things that can eat that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? This information ain't privy for everybody. You know why? Because people are one-minded, one-track mind. You know what I'm saying? Like single-minded. So you just say some common sense shit to people, and then end up being incompetent. You know what I'm saying? Not having the normal ratio of thinking. Selfish energy is a drug. Jealousy is a drug. Envy is a drug. All these levels of manipulation are just drugs to get your endorphins to rise up. And when they do, you know what I'm saying, whatever adrenaline, whatever chemical imbalance that pops up in your body, you end up feeling that, and then eventually you start digressing to the same negative energy. That's with everything in existence. This is why the stronger ones can surpass. That's why the stronger ones surpass. I used to always wonder, like, why I experience shit before people. Like, I would see things coming in time, like an energy that's about to come, and I would go through it first. And then people be like, what the fuck wrong with you? And da-da-da-da. And after it's over, I'm seeing everybody else go through it. And I'm like, and they looking at me like why I'm not affected by the same shit that they going through. Well, when you follow the divine, you get prepared first. That's just what it is. If you stay with the divine, you'll go through shit real early. You'll be prepared first. And then you'll understand why you're not supposed to digress to certain levels of emotion. I always tell y'all that's the easy cop out. Like being rude, disrespectful, trying to get your kicks off in your own reflection. That's not it. That's never going to be it. It's always going to be funny here, but in the eyes of the Almighty, it's never going to be funny. And a person will live his lifetime thinking that I just was doing what I like, and divine will judge you based off your non altitude for resistance. Back in we would say shit like you ain't got to fight that man just because you can beat him. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be shit like that. And then you have people that'll do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? But when you're a child, that's different. It's like, okay, you're a child. You don't know no better. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to win and lose as a child. But in life, and when you get older, that's different. Those wins and losses end up being shit that you got to be stuck with for the rest of your life. You ever seen an adult get in a fight, somebody break his jaw and his jaw's stuck in? The bone structure was shattered so much he'd never have a regular face again. Somebody get stabbed up with razors and shit or whatever, being bad in the street, get cut, tendons get cut. When you become an adult, them tendons don't fuse back the way they was. So you got to keep in mind, when you're a child, it's different. You can have that energy, but when you older, it's not the same. Hurt changes your whole life. And a lot of times people want to be better than what they were. And when divine step in, sometimes it ain't the same pressure you think you want for real, because the mentality, it hasn't equated to nothing. You thinking, oh, it's funny, I can take advantage, I can shit on people, I can do this and get away with it. But you're an adult now. So your frequency is a way larger than you are as an insignificant, untrained, naive child. So it's different. You don't know shit as a child. You're still learning these things. Why am I even speaking it this way for? Because potentially, whenever you learn what you're doing, you're accountable for your actions. I don't give a fuck how quiet and silent it is. Everything that we do echoes through the water, yo. It echoes through society. It echoes through neighborhoods. It echoes through nature. It echoes through spiritual energy. It echoes through the universe. It echoes into divine. There is nothing that we do here is unseen. Why do people want to run and be in front of someone's face? Why is that even a thing? Because you had a culture that was placed in this reality when they came into existence and didn't have a foundation of power that has been overlaid over this earth for a long time, billions of years. So that jealousy started then. Oh, damn, they've been here that long. We will never catch up to that. So how do we get somewhere? We break it so we can place ourselves somewhere. So they broke the system and placed themselves in a false understanding. Why am I explaining it this way? Because that's what you was taught. When your library, when your elders, the ones that had that knowledge that would continue this glory that we had on the earth from formulations over billions of years, that would have stayed if that information wasn't touched. But that information was touched. That was one of the biggest world calamities ever that happened. They destroyed the truth of the earth. They burned it, rewrote it. They went all around the place to try to repicture everything, just to place themselves in somewhere where they never read an existence about them. It was no powerful placements in the story for these people. It was nothing. It was a story that said the beast came, ... in a sentence. They had to place themselves somewhere of value. And you learn from that. That's what you learned from. Like when you're watching the strongest levels of different cultures be brought low, you're watching women have babies and the babies get ripped out of them and bashed on rocks and all this craziness. The most goriest shit ever. Of course, both sides, women and men are like, oh my God, I've never seen nothing like this. I'm terrified. I don't think I can be strong to this. I don't have enough power to overwash this. It's not a tidal wave of energy, a rage that I can pull up that can wash over this. They didn't have it at that time. They were being brought down. They were being broken. You know, only a beast can watch you suffer after they bite your arm off and watch you bleed out and sit there full after eating your forearm, knowing that you're not going to really go nowhere. I just broke your tendons in your arteries. You're going to bleed out before you even make it to the front of the cave. Like, I'll get the rest of you when I'm hungry again. Sometimes we look at judgment and torture as a significant value to treat a person indifferent to something that you want to blame them for when divine is authority. And keep in mind, these choices are only created that way because I'm able to watch that. I can't watch nobody bleed out naturally. I think it's disgusting. I have an affinity for people. So if I see you hurt, I'm probably going to be hurt too. If I see children in a bad situation, I'm probably going to cry. Like if I see somebody disrespecting an elder that can't take care of themselves, it's probably going to hurt my feelings. You know why? Because I'm an original person. I don't have shit to hide. I have empathy inside of me. I'm empathetic. I can pick up on feelings. I have a heart. I was made this way. I was born this way. I was built this way. All the other shit that we do in life, it comes on because, oh, you know what? I don't think I need to be that way in this world. Well, man did that to you, not the Most High. The Most High said be that way. You being loving doesn't detach the fact that you whipping somebody's ass. Being having a empathy or having a good heart or being good to somebody doesn't designate how you protect yourself. It doesn't designate what divine gonna do for you neither. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times the the outspoken notion of whatever rhetoric that y'all want to portray to seem as if power or something is less of that value is only based off your own insignificance towards something. That's how it's always going to be. I said in one of my other bills just the other day that all negativity, no matter what it is, it's from the foundation of what's inside that individual. That's why it's so easy to get to that spot so quick. Like you got to wonder, like why, how can you get mad so fast unless you're just, you know what I'm saying? If you're a good person, you're gonna question what's this energy coming around because I'm already in a good energy. But then if you got to digress to what's going on and that energy turns on real fast, that's because how you really feel on the inside. That's all. All praises to the Most High, man. At the end of the day, intelligence gonna reign supreme, and you're gonna start looking at it for what it is, and you're gonna say, "Damn, how'd that even happen?" That's the cognitive dissonance. When you can be in a situation and don't know how it got from this point to that point, and you're like, "Fuck it, it is what it is now." That part of your brain that didn't see that happen from that spot to that spot showed you had no mental control at that moment. Whatever energy took over, that energy was more powerful to you. It was enough to block your mind, to carry you from one space to the next. That shit should disturb you because that means you ain't got self-control. For real, for real. And I don't mean self-control as in losing your mind. I mean you can't control yourself in certain energy frequencies because your mentality drops. Your cognitive awareness drops. That shit should bother you. Like, damn, that energy was so strong. I missed the part that actually did this. I didn't see that. Yeah, that's the part where you probably would have got hit and got knocked out at because you ain't see it happening. See, life work in the most weirdest ways and it teaches you lessons, but a lot of times people don't see it because you're trying to get a point across. You're trying to say your part. That's ego. Sometimes being silent and just sitting back and just looking at the whole thing play out. You might have to play a role or two. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a person will come at you in a certain way and you can feel their expectations of you. You can feel what they want you to do. You know what? You know that ain't you. Sometimes play that role. That's like giving a long fishing line. Be the weakness. Be what they see you as. Be what they tell people you is. Right in front of them. Yeah, I'm like that. You know what they're going to do? They're going to run that fishing line out and you're going to see exactly what they about. You're like, damn, that broke my heart. I didn't know you was going to go that far. Control is never the access to knowledge. People think if they control shit, they can get all the knowledge. No, you get the knowledge by letting people be free. Because when you're free and you're comfortable, you're going to do everything that you want to do. And if you want to know something, like you want to have knowledge on something, complete knowledge, let it be. Don't control it, let it be. That be the real test for people. Like you'll have a word that you'll say something. And then when it's time to live up to those words, you got to stand on that shit. A lot of times you don't have to come question a person about what they said. Just stand. And if they let that value down, you don't have to respond. Listen to what people say, yo. Listen to how they talk to you. Listen to the words they throw in there comfortably. Listen to what people say that may be immoral, but they say it like it's nonchalant. And if you're willing just to just acclimate to anybody's circumstance, what does that say about how you care about yourself? It's either you're a follower because you listen to everybody about something. You don't make choices for yourself. It's either you weak as hell because somebody can tell you how to handle a personal situation that you're dealing with, and you got that information from outside of you. It ain't your feelings. It's what they said outside. You weak as shit. Somebody came in and told you what to do with your value, and you did it. Boo boo the fool. Divine won't get that to you again. That's like giving keys to a drunk person. The motherfucker, he smashed. Been drinking all day. 151. Smash. Give him the key. You about to drive home. Give you no damn keys. You gonna kill everybody. Not just yourself. You gonna blow this car up. You gonna hit about 5, 6 people going down the road, and you going to jail if you don't die. I'm not giving you no keys. I'm responsible for that mess. See, this is the reality. People don't want to. That's why a lot of people don't want to take accountability because they don't want to be classified as nasty or messed up or messy or non-contentable or somebody who just can't think straight or somebody who's irrational or a liability. People don't want to wear those. They don't want to wear those. Somebody untrustworthy, shit like that. You don't want to wear that if it's based off something you did and somebody that knows you know that's how you really get down. Like your full totality, like you just a fucked up individual all the way around, despite what you tell people, how you show them. If a motherfucker know that's how you really get down, they like, I'm not wasting my money and my time on you. For what? You got to be willing to have that integrity within yourself. A lot of times people get involved in shit, you know what you do? You go run. You got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. Sometimes just you're like, yo, well, if I wasn't in this situation, what would it be like? Sometimes have the same mentality. You think because you gained a little bit, everybody got to be a part. Nah, you're intention. You are a attention whore. Those type of people, they don't understand life. They understand the attention. They understand what it feels like when people start seeing them from 360 degree of axis. That is an off spurt version or a root factor of a narcissist. Because the narcissist used to always look in the mirror. The narcissist was so dangerous for themselves that they would stare in that mirror so much that they couldn't see holes and cracks and danger around them. So a narcissist would kill itself. It wasn't dangerous to hurt you. That's the original concept of a narcissist. It wasn't about hurting you. It was about how much you tried to warn what you loved, and what you loved was so much into itself it couldn't see what you was warning it for. That's the difference. So people done ran narcissists in the wrong direction. Now the off spurt, right? The child of a narcissist. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if that was even possible, right? Like, how could a narcissist have a child? If the concept was privy to a value, it would be an attention whore, right? That would be the child of it, because you would have to have something to cut the narcissist. In order for the narcissist to get out of the mirror for long enough to stick it in, and create a baby, it would have to have attention for a slight second on something else. Meaning, all right, I want this, you got to do this, and I'm going to move the mirror. It might even be looking in the mirror while it's doing it, like, yep, I look good doing this shit. Who knows? I'm joking, but in the same reference to the value, like if there was a creation from a narcissist, it would be an attention whore. That attention whore will always want to be seen, always want to be in the limelight, always, hey, look at me. I'm special, like, but you won't hear those words that way. It'll manipulate its way into that value, probably throwing salt on other things. You know what I'm saying? And then you can continue the value mentally like that. That's how you know the fruit of certain values. You know what I'm saying? You can tell by how close the regiment of what that individual might have been from their past and how that manifested to the future. Then you can see how the off skirt of their fruit is contained in those particular values. And every so often, divine will allow you to create the version of yourself so you can see your own flaws. You know what I'm saying? This is how certain families get in cursed values and stuff like that, is because they don't want to face their karmatic value. Divine loves you so much, it'll try to teach you right here on earth, like so much, like through everything. Like divine is still keep showing up, and you know what you're going to do? Fight for this character and try to act like you got to hold on to it for dear life. It's like you almost forgot what innocence was. And you're fighting for not the gift that divine gave you, but the structure of what you became after you threw away your innocence. If that's not dumb as fuck, I don't know what the hell is. And this is literally the world in every single shape and form. You got people throwing away their selves and making you accept what they change into via the trauma that they had to go through. And then you sit down and you wonder and you say, damn, but I'm supposed to think this is strength? I'm supposed to look at this as you strong. I'm supposed to look at this as you fighting back. I'm supposed to look at this is how, no, you threw away what you were by the accident or experience of what you went through. And now you're sitting here like, no, this is just what it is. No, you weak as fuck. Because you couldn't even hold on to what divine gave you. The first gift. Everybody else wrong. You study pointing your finger. And when you do that, what you're doing is telling divine, telling the universe that this person, this energy that took place here on this earth was more powerful than you turn around asking divine to remove that shit from me. That's what you're saying when you cause negative energy on the earth. When you're affected, when you're a product of your environment, when you're a person affected by things, you're telling people, you are showing people that I was too weak. I didn't call out to the divine. Matter of fact, I believe that's weaker than what happened to me. That's what you're saying. You don't even know this shit, but that's really what you're saying. That's not how I feel, but that's what you're saying, because Almighty is Almighty. So if that's not what you mean, then you need to go comprehend what Almighty is first and foremost, and then go back and look at why you didn't access something when you should have accessed it at the right time. Can't keep blaming everybody for everything. And don't let nobody make you feel like you the reason. How you got to walk around in a feeling of blame and somebody making you feel bad when divine said everybody imperfect? So the expectation to the value is, yo, if you know you imperfect, then I expect you to learn from your mistakes. I expect you to learn from your mistakes. What does that mean? If you hit your foot on a brick, I expect you to pick your foot up next time. If you know the stove is hot, I expect you not to put your hand on it because you know it's hot. I expect you to know if that cuts wood sharp, fast, don't stick your arm over there. You know you hurt their feelings. You didn't know what that was when you got mad and it came out your mouth. You know what it feels like to be angry now, don't you? Tighten that shit up. Well, you don't want to learn? Why? Because when you stepped out of your character, you was embarrassed because you knew you was wrong? Oh, everybody go there. Everybody get there. And then you know what people got sharp with? Hiding that shit. Oh, I'm about to be embarrassed. Oh, save, a quick save. Safe in the first base. Slid in the second. That bullshit out of here, man. Grow the fuck up. I be so serious. This shit is tired of me. Like, I be like, oh, God, Divine, I don't want to talk about this today. Because everybody need a friend. Everybody need a conversation. And so most of the conversation be based off something. Sometimes I got to catch myself because I even go back in the past a little bit and start looking at things that affected me. And I be like, I don't even want to go there. Let me just chop this off real quick. Yeah, I'll check myself because I'm the captain of this ship right here. I drive this ship. I control the head over the pedestal, which is the neck, my center of gravity and my shoulders. So I drive this car right here. I drive this. This is mine. It's like you drive yours. That's why they had to make authorities. Because sometimes you're going to go in society and feel like conduciveness don't even fucking matter. You're going to feel like you the supreme. You're going to do whatever you want to do. And they're going to come show you that that's not real. Yeah, we still so dumb to the fact that we can't take accountability. We be like, yo, fuck that. I did it. I don't care. I don't really agree with all that for the most part, because I don't want you to think you can feel like that around something that's insignificant around me, because I might just lose it. I might just like flip. You know what I'm saying? I try to stay so nice all the time because I don't like being on that side of me. I done blacked out plenty of times. I don't like being on that side of me. If I go over there, something might happen. You know what I'm saying? I be like, yo, Divine, please. I pray for that. I pray against me, yo. I don't pray for people, man. I be like, let your will be done, Divine. I don't pray for y'all. I tell Divine, let his will be done, because that's the most powerful thing that I can actually give to you. That's all I can say. Let your will be done. But for me, personally, I asked Divine to step in because I was already told I was going to be imperfect. So I don't really want to drive this car the way the world do shit. Y'all dumb. Y'all make stupid decisions in everything. Authority, family, love, everything. You see it spread around like that shit cute. Y'all just spreading around fucked up shit on bread like butter. Don't even care. Don't got no regard for nobody. I'm by myself. Well, if you take every single person off the earth and you here by yourself, what you gonna do? I like to see you build a building by yourself. I like to see you do everything that's done on earth alone. The most craziest part about this whole thing is you're created with other people, other cultures, and it's supposed to be conducive. The problem is you think conduciveness has a mechanism of control. Every place where there's a given, there's an entity that inserts the contrast. It can't be a dumb person in that cipher, because that dumb person is going to open the door and let the shit in. Every single fucking time, every single civilization, every single fucking moment, every pure situation, every new idea, every instance of something new. If you don't keep your fucking mouth closed, The adversary is at your window like a vampire. Please let me in. Y'all don't see this shit? It doesn't change in no other way. I need you to be involved. I need you to be involved. Once I tempt you and you like it, let me in. Once you get some of this, you'll spread it to everything else. That little part that you missed that kept you blind was that energy that slipped in, the veil you can't see, that space in between where you didn't see it coming from and where it attached itself to you. You know, the kink in your armor where it slid in because you're so fucking hard-headed. That shit your mama was telling you since you was a fucking kid. That shit your daddy wanted to beat your ass for because you ain't want to listen because they know you better than you. And you grew up with that bullshit. You grew up with that bullshit and you didn't want to let it go and you still walking around with it like that shit supreme because you still fucking hard-headed. You're letting in plenty of demons. You're letting them in. You got the door wide the fuck open. Flies just flying all in your shit. But y'all don't want to see it like that because you want to be right for once. You don't understand right and wrong is both the same fucking addiction. You don't understand that. All praises to the Most High. NAGA the Wise.